Welcome, everyone. You're listening to the Aging and Spirituality Podcast. I am Kathy Lee Taylor.
And I'm Chris Jensen.
And we're so happy you are here today. We
Yes,
have such a fun topic. We have such a fun topic. If you've ever looked at our logo, the tagline says, embracing your highest unrealized life. We're going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about 3 steps you can use, you can implement to have that kind of happening in your life. How to really tune into your inner calling for what it is at this point in your life. It's probably going to be different than it was at any other point in your life. So, just thinking about it from where we are from an age point of view, our culture here, we're in the United States. I don't know where you folks are or how your culture is with this part of the aging process. Every culture is different, but we really, and especially as women, dread the aging process. The inevitability of the physical body aging is something that women dread. I mean, that's all there is to it, and it also means you have to look at how your life gets adapted at this particular point. We grow older, we treat it like it's a freaking disease, like people are trying to cure everything before they even get there, or slow the aging process down, with lotions and potions and never-ending beauty regimens that they want to try to sell you. We go to these extreme lengths, like having surgery, and then sometimes you wake up and look in the mirror and go, "Who is that?"
What did I do?
Exactly. It's frightening what we will do when it comes to that. But how many times and how often do we forget that growing old is a tremendous privilege? Oh my gosh, folks, think about it. Some of us don't make it. I mean, especially since this pandemic in the last 3 years. You don't have to look far. You don't have to reach far to find somebody who has lost somebody. I had a friend go just a couple of months ago, 61 from COVID-related issues with her lungs. And I'm sure that if you reach in your close proximity of people, somebody has been touched, So think about that. Take that in. We are really privileged to be here. And, sometimes that comes with the feeling of there's a reason that we're here. And we kind of live with that, I think, throughout our whole lives. But when it gets to this age, it feels a little more urgent. It feels different, too.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I don't know what it is. Maybe I haven't done it yet, and I want to do it before I go.
Right. Or maybe I did do it, and I want to do something different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're growing it. Whatever you have been doing, you want to grow it to a different level. So it's that kind of idea. So I also know that just because you're over 60 doesn't mean that you don't have dreams and desires and passions that you still want to realize. I mean, that is such a farce. If you think that goes away, like you close the door and you're going to sit in your backyard chair for 30 years. Somebody just killed me. I can't even imagine that, right? That would be horrible, wouldn't it? Yeah. I mean, getting up with a purpose is such a motivating, life-giving, affirming situation, I would say, for sure.
Yeah.
So maybe you've been holding on to your dreams for years and you finally want to realize them. Maybe you've done them, but you have brand new desires and you want to start realizing those. And maybe that means that you have to have a lot of different skills, or there's different ways that you have to go about to realize them. There's different ways that you have to be, you have to grow, you have to change. That's the exciting part about getting to this phase in our lives. We can do it. We just have to be open and receptive. So that's, one of the main reasons we do this podcast. We want you to think about what it is in your life that you have not realized yet. And what is the highest potential for your life that you have remaining.
And knowing that you have the potential, not buying into the theory that you have less potential, because you really have more. You're not so absorbed in all the things you were absorbed in later. I mean, just, making a living, raising children, whatever it is, there's more opportunity.
Right. And, just so we're really clear about this, we're not saying you have to. I mean, the fact that you get up and, your life has value just by giving love through friendship, compassion with others. That would be enough, and if that's enough for you, great, take the pressure off. But if you feel like really that there's something else you need to discover, This is a talk is going to be for you, because we're going to tell you some of the things you can do to connect to your inner self. Because when you do that, the answers will find you. That's the truth. It doesn't have to be hard work. This can be done really easily, understanding how to stay in divine flow and let the answers come to you. So, okay, how do we go about doing it? So step number one, this was an interesting, as I was writing this, I was thinking this, I don't know why I'm really going to talk about this particular subject, but I am. I feel like sometimes we get to this stage and we're kind of complacent, you know, and I looked up that word and I was like, what does complacent mean? I thought for a minute it was kind of laziness, but it's not. The actual definition of being complacent means you have kind of a smug sense of your achievements, you know, which is completely the ego speaking at that moment, you know. So if you're feeling complacent, you're going to have to learn to let that go, and let that go and embrace humility. Embrace being humble. That is the state of consciousness of being that you want to be in, to have the right open receptivity to be able to make these changes that we're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And you know, there's a difference between complacency and contentment. Contentment is very important for growth. You accept yourself where you are, wherever you are, and then you move forward from there. Complacency is just hanging out in that space, you know. Not
Yeah.
even accepting yourself where you are, you're just going along with the program.
Yeah, so the way you're describing it is that tamasic energy, that just
Right.
sitting on the couch with my feet up, watching
Right.
TV, not gonna
Right.
do a darn thing.
Right. Right.
Question anything, not gonna do anything. That tamasic
Right.
kind of stuck in the mud
Stuck in the mud.
energy.
Right.
Right. Oh, that's a good distinction. I like that. Complacency versus contentment. Accepting who you are and then moving on from there. Okay, so one of the things that I recommend you do if you're feeling smug, complacent, you know, like you want to get your energy rolling forward again, check if there's areas in your life where you need to forgive yourself. I know this is something that I still work on. My mom passed a little while ago, but there are things that still come up, and there are moments when I'm just like, I have, you know, I feel a sense of resentment right from my gut level of how I was treated, you know, not acknowledged, not seen, not heard as a child. I wish that was gone. I wish I could say that, you know, at my age, it's gone. It's not. There's sometimes it still comes up, and I have to forgive myself. And every time it does come up, I say to myself, I send you love from here on in, nothing but love. Don't hold on to it. Don't, you know, acknowledge the resentments there. Okay, I'm going to let it go. Make that a process. That's an important process, that self-forgiving kind of process, because that energy will keep you stuck. Okay, so do something every day that you love to do and that resonates with your soul calling. That will put you more into the divine flow and the energy and answers, and, you know, being in the right place and getting what you need will all start to happen for you, just really naturally, from a very soul level, right? You'll know when it feels right. You'll know that you're on the right track.
When something's right, you know, your whole being resonates with it.
Resonates with it. It's an energetic level for sure. Yeah. So ask yourself here at this moment, just what is truly important to me to do and be in the third stage of my life? Just close your eyes and ask yourself that for 10 seconds. And just wait to receive that answer. If you didn't get it right away, just keep asking it once a day, twice a day. Wait till you receive some kind of answer that feels satisfying in your heart. And that's where you want to start to focus. That's where you want to start to ask some questions and pay attention to it. Start playing around with the ideas that come up. Okay, so step number 2, acknowledge that wisdom has its advantages. I think this is so important because, come on, we work really hard for that wisdom. Think about it, you know, like, look at Chris and I. We've been studying yoga since, what, our 20s?
Well,
do you ever look back and think,
holy
moly, this has been the main focus of our lives.
Yeah,
we've had kids. Yeah, we've done work. Yeah, we've done a lot of things, but this has been the main propelling force in our lives.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, it's really, so we earned that wisdom.
We did.
We did. We did. And it's great to have, our younger self has no really idea about what potential is and spends a lot of time running around going, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? And, frantically just trying to build up that sense of self. And when you get here to this stage and you've done the work, you don't have that anymore. There's no frantic chasing. There's this wonderful peace, contentment, as Chris was saying, love that just comes along with being alive, being who you are, accepting that who you are. So
yeah, absolutely.
Time will pass and it will transform all of those, ideas that we have and smash them into little bits, and you will become wise. So be happy about that. Notice it, pay attention to it. Not everybody has that path. Not everybody gets that, so be very grateful for it. Let's see. So we've reflected on how you can be a more loving human being as a wise person. So what do you know now about yourself and your life that informs what you're going to do in the next phase of living? What is it about yourself that is unique? What is it about yourself that nobody else can do on this planet? Something that alone is yours alone. That's a good place to start when you're looking at what it is that is your calling, your talents, your skills, your gifts. These are things that were given to you for a reason. So
do you think that your gifts change as you get older?
I mean, oh, no doubt. Yeah. How about you? What would you say happened to you in your life? What gifts did?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, things have changed and matured and grown, and yeah, I would say I feel like I have more gifts now.
Well, but you've been for so long a meditation teacher, right? You've been a yoga teacher for many, many, many years. Right. How are you different from when you were 20 till now?
I think I'm a better instrument. I'm more out of the way for higher consciousness to move through.
Right.
And also I have a better understanding of people who, if they don't feel like they're successful right away, they want to stop, or they want to, find fault with. And I have a better understanding of where they're coming from. And with that, I'm more able to help them see that, there is no failure in yoga. There's no, you just, everyone progresses at their own rate. You just have to find what's best for you, and also, if something people don't get, I learned to really just break it down into little pieces until they can get it.
Well, so, that was a tough question I threw at her last minute spontaneously. And the truth is, having been a student in Chris's classes, I know that on a one-to-one individual basis, it's tough enough if you're working with one person or a friend or something to understand how that person ticks and to really kind of sneak around the ego and get to a place where they can hear what you're saying and they can see the value in it, right? And then, as a teacher, you take that to another level. You're in front of a group all the time, and you got to be able to sense the group energy and where you need to go with your lessons and where you need to go with your teaching at any given moment, right? So those are skills that develop over the years that become so fine-tuned that you just become like a walking, talking proponent of yoga, like you said, just of service, no matter where you are or what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Makes sense? Yeah, absolutely. Okay, thank God for yoga teachers. So, okay, so step number 3, do not try to bend reality to your will.
We all do that, don't we?
Guilty. Of course, I'm bringing this up because that's definitely one that I am guilty of. Let's see. At this stage of life, you have to understand the art of surrender and letting go. Almost the same thing, maybe little subtle differences in there, but we just have to learn to let go of the illusions, the things that are not true. We have to acknowledge what is true in the world and for us. And we have to understand that, yeah, you use your willpower sometimes out in the world, the masculine world. When you look around, it created buildings and jobs and, commercial this and that. It's done a lot of great things in the world, but it's not going to take you where you want to go on a soul level and growing and understanding your heart. And in a lot of ways, the feminine energy has nothing to do with willpower. It has to do only with receiving energy on a heart level. So we have to learn to let go of illusions, old beliefs that no longer work for you, let go of magical thinking that makes us feel like we're in control of everything in our lives. So now this third part of our life is so exciting because we can create something new. And if that's coming from a point in your life where you still have something that you want to do, it's new. Or it may be something completely new that you want to create at this given point in your life. So we really need to understand and practice the art of surrender. If you have trouble with it, that's where you want to put your attention. Learn how to do that really, really well. A ton of books out there to do. And again, classes that, we teach at the yoga center, go online, get free classes, learn what it means to really surrender. I'm just going to give you a little exercise so you can feel, we're almost at the end here, but I want to give you something that you can take with you so you can feel what it likes to feel surrendered. Okay, so this is really surrendering, opening to a feeling of peace, holding a safe space for yourself to be able to receive the attention and the respect that you deserve at this point in your life. Just take your heart in your hands with both of your hands over your chest. Place them gently. Feel how sweet that energy is over your heart. You can close your eyes or not, it doesn't matter. Just sense how that feels to hold your heart in your own hands. Give gratitude for your own life, for everything about you that is unique and special, and to that really important part of you that is calling you to a new journey at this point in your life. Give yourself permission to move into this wisdom phase with grace and ease. Now take a moment to whisper your intentions to your inner self and to God. Just state, this is what I want. This is what I want to work on. And ask that you be blessed to live a life of gratitude and service to others. And so it is.
Well, that's beautiful.
That was
just beautiful. I was just about had me in tears there. So.
Oh, sweet. Thank you. That means it works. I hope you felt that way too, listeners. Do that once a day. It's so gorgeous. Okay, we're at the end of our time. I hope you got something out of this, will help you on your journey, help you really understand what it is that you want to do with this point in your life. Please let us know if you have questions. We're here for you.
Yeah, and be open to it. Just be open to what comes.
Be open to great new things, because this could be the most exciting time of your life. Thank you for coming. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye for now.